What's up, guys, and welcome to TNT Beauty. I'm Nisi, and I'm so excited about today's video. I have literally been wanting to make this video since before Tiff and I ever had a YouTube channel. Today, I will be sharing with you some tips and tricks that I use every day to help me grow and maintain healthy long hair. So, I'm going to start with the most obvious tips first, but I honestly can't talk about growing healthy hair without mentioning taking care of your body, okay? So I definitely recommend eating right, drinking lots and lots of water, and taking vitamins. If you are struggling with hair growth, I recommend using vitamins that are specific to that area. So right now, I'm using the Amplixin Advanced Biotin. It has 8 micrograms of biotin. I got these off of Amazon, and I really don't stick to one specific brand. I just kind of go on Amazon, do the research, read the reviews, and I just try out different things. And so far, just buying highly rated vitamins has really worked wonders for my hair and for my nails. Just a little added bonus there. But you definitely want to look for biotin. That's a key ingredient that you want to look for. And I highly recommend that. I can see the difference when I am not taking my vitamins. So I try to make sure that I don't ever run out. Okay? So, all right. So that's basic stuff. Okay? We already probably knew those things, but we're going to move on. I'm going to talk about the scalp now and how you can care for your scalp and how that could help you promote hair growth. So an interesting little tip I have is that when you shampoo, at least when I shampoo, I only shampoo my scalp. I feel like if I were to just co-wash and skip shampoo altogether, that I would have buildup on my scalp, and I don't want that. So I shampoo my scalp, then rinse out, and then just follow with the normal conditioning process. For my scalp, I also use essential oils. I alternate between peppermint oil and lavender. I'm out of my lavender right now, but right now I'm using the Young Living Peppermint Vitality Oil. This is really expensive, so I don't necessarily recommend it, but you can go to Walmart and find a decent peppermint oil. But you just take a few drops. It's very potent. You take a few drops, massage it into the scalp. If you're in a hurry, then just, apply it to the scalp and then keep moving. But maybe if it's evening time or if you've got extra time, a 5-minute scalp massage will work wonders for promoting blood flow to that area. All right, moving on. I like to use castor oil on days where I know I'm going to wash the next day. If you've used castor oil before, you know it's very thick, and it's not the cleanest feeling to apply that to your scalp. So it is recommended for growing thick, healthy hair. So I do that, and I might throw in a few drops of essential oil, whatever I feel like adding to it, and I'll massage that in. I'll go to sleep, just let it be. And then, like I said, I will wash the next day. I do not use castor oil on days where I'm not going to be washing the next day, because I feel like for me that would accumulate buildup, which I try to avoid. All right, so moving on. We've talked about the body very briefly. We've talked about the scalp. Now, we're actually going to talk about the hair. So, for me, when it comes to my hair, I started to see my first big shift in hair health when I stopped doing certain things. Okay? When I was a teenager and in my early 20s maybe, I was doing everything that I'm going to tell you not to do. I was relaxing my hair. I was flat ironing and straightening my hair every single day, sometimes more than once in a day. I was dyeing my hair at home, like anything you can think of that's damaging for the hair, I did it. And I will say that even though I did those things, I was able to grow my hair to about bra strap length. I would never go beyond that, but I could get there with like minimal effort. But I would run into frustration because anytime I would go to have my hair done, the stylist, whoever it was, would be like, well, you really need a trim. But a trim would actually turn out to be a cut, and it just would upset me so badly every time. I'm like, I didn't even come for a trim. And, you know, it totally was not their fault. It was my fault because I wasn't taking care of my hair. So when I stopped relaxing my hair, it got a lot thicker. When I stopped using heat, I saw a huge improvement in split ends. So when it comes to hair, for me, I can say less is definitely more. One thing I also have to be mindful of in the way of don'ts is excessive styling. So if you see my videos, you will not see me doing a whole lot of different hairstyles, and that's intentional. Yeah, it might get a little boring looking, but I'm thinking about the health of my hair. Okay. So now that we've been negative and we've talked about the don'ts, let's talk about the things you should be doing. You definitely want to moisturize 1 to 2 times a day. I personally use the LCO method, and I've talked about this and demonstrated this in some of my hair care tutorials, and I will continue to do that. So the LCO method, the L stands for liquid or leave-in, the C is cream, this is like your styler, and then the O is to seal it all in with an oil. And I do this every day. I do use the LCO method in the mornings, and then I'll skip the cream at night, which brings me into my next step. You definitely, if you're a natural, if you struggle with moisture, if you're trying to maximize your hair growth, you need to have a bedtime routine. I cannot stress this enough, you guys. And I have struggled with this too, but when I'm on my game, you know, I do this every night. So, nighttime, we tend to be our most tired, and it's easiest to slack off and just throw your cap on and go to bed. But that's not what I recommend. If you do struggle with keeping the routine, you might want to put your products, this, you can't see that at all, but maybe in a basket or just somewhere where they're easy to access. What I do, spray just a few little sprays of water. I don't get the hair too wet, but just enough to absorb product, because my hair absorbs product best when it is wet. So I'll do that, and then I'll go in with a leave-in conditioner, and then I'll apply an oil, seal that in. I'll have my hair, I do it in 2 sections, and then I will just loosely braid those sections. When I get to the end of the hair, I'll twist it up. I don't put an elastic on the end, and that literally locks in the moisture. It locks in the moisture, and it prevents my hair from being tangled the next morning. So when I do that and I get up the next morning, I can just basically do the same process. I can do it very easily, and it just saves so much trouble. I notice the biggest difference when I don't do this, and I'm just like, gosh, why did you, why are you so lazy? But like I said, it's very repetitive, but it makes all the difference in the world to just take that extra step at night, okay? And like physically braiding, not tight braids, but just a loose braid, it locks in that moisture. The moisture cannot escape. For my hair, air steals my moisture. It just does. And I don't really care for that because I like to wear my hair down. But I know when I'm trying to lock it in, loose braids work very well for me. And they might for you too. Just something to think about. And I keep looking down to look at my notes. Okay. So my next tip is to have low manipulation hairstyles. And what I mean by this is you don't want to wear like tight ponytails. You don't want to have to do a bunch of parting and twisting and, just less is more. And like a lot of brushing, because that's just more opportunities for you to, pull out the hair, to split the hair, to damage the hair, to offend her, because she can be sensitive. So what I do, I might do like a bun, a loose bun. Sometimes I will do a ponytail, and I'll moisturize that ponytail, and then I'll just braid it to where it's a single braid, and I might do that for a couple of days at a time. When I do that, I'll just take it down long enough to moisturize it and, give it time to breathe, because I'm not trying to have it like knot up. My hair would do something like that. But, when I'm doing that, I'm not having to part it, not having to separate, like it's just simple. So when I'm working like Monday through Thursday, I'll try to do very basic, simple styles. And then because I like to be like kind of cute, on Fridays, I will usually just wear my hair down or do something that's just a little cuter than like a braided ponytail. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Yeah, so on Saturdays, if I'm not leaving the house, it's a messy bun. And if I am leaving the house, I might leave it down. I go to church every Sunday, except for now because we're on lockdown. But on Sundays, I'll usually wear it down. I might do half up, half down, something like that, just to try to look, cute for church and presentable. But yeah, I definitely don't do down every day because my hair tends to dry out when she is exposed to too much air. Okay, so next I'm going to talk about my wash routine. So Saturday is usually my wash day. That's my whole maintenance day, and I will have a video on just the whole full maintenance of everything. But that's, like I said, that's a different video. So wash day, I will cleanse my scalp. I'll use a regular conditioner, and then when I get out, I will go in with a deep conditioner or hair mask. And I talked about this hair mask. I know you can't see it because the light is so bright. But this is the Biolage Rebodify Clay Mask. I talked about this in my Marshalls haul. It's for fine, flat hair. And I was like, I don't know about this, but I found such a good deal on it. I thought, let me go ahead and try that. And it's like a clay consistency. But I have to say, I was stuck on the DP hue, but I was like, whoa, I used this 2 days ago and my hair has been just shiny and happy and tame, and I will definitely be looking into this more and looking into the Biolage products. In the way of products, I know I'm getting going on a little tangent, but that's all right, stick with me here. I use mostly drugstore, see, like very basic. But I am exploring more high-end products. I'm trying to find out for myself and for you guys, is it worth the extra cost? I actually have a Curlsmith product coming that I'm really excited about, but I'll take you guys along as I work through that. Anyways, back to deep conditioning. So I'll apply a deep conditioner or hair mask. If I have time and I feel like it, I will sit under the dryer for 15 to 30 minutes and then rinse out, and then I'll do my regular routine using the LCO method. And for the longest time, I didn't bother with deep conditioning. Everybody says you have to deep condition, and I can honestly say, if you're using the right deep conditioner, this really does make a difference. Okay, so my next tip is to have a good hairstylist. This is really important. I know it can be, a bit of a splurge. I personally like to go to a hairstylist every week. For me, is not practical, but I do make it a point to go every season. You need to have somebody that's going to listen to you, somebody that's going to educate you, and to, respect the health of your hair. And I can say my girl is all of that. Her name is Alicia, and she and I have actually done a video about my game-changing treatment that I discovered through her. It is just, aside from going natural, that treatment has been the biggest game changer for me. And it's keratin protein treatment, I will tell you that. If you want to get rid of frizz and tangles, I highly recommend it, but I will have a full video on that coming out soon. Anyways, I digress. So you definitely want to have a good stylist, someone that you trust. And for me, I refer to my stylist for the serious tasks. And they include, you know, any type of heat styling. I do not do that myself. I leave that to her. If I want to have my hair straightened for a special occasion, I go get it done. I let Alicia do that. I have the tools at home, but I just don't even go there anymore. Also for trims and, like I said, any special treatments, you need a good stylist. Even if you can just go a few times a year, you need that person in your life. If you run into a problem, every so often I'll just have my hair just falling out. Like I have rheumatoid arthritis, I take different medications, and I'll just reach out to her and I'll be like, hey, you know, what can I do? And it's just really nice to have that person in your life and on your team. Anyways, my next tip, and I don't hear people talk about this as much as I would think. Maybe I'm just looking in the wrong places, but detangling. It's so important. If you're trying to grow and retain length, you have to detangle properly. My hair has always been prone to tangles. You know, before I started the protein treatments, like I would go to a hairstylist and they'd be like, do you mind to detangle this? It was that bad. It was that bad. And if you've seen any of my hair care tutorials, you can see my detangling process now, and it's so easy. So easy. But anyways, you definitely want to start with preventing tangles in the first place. That's where the 2 little braids at night comes in. For me, a pineapple would still leave me prone to tangles. You have to try and figure out what works for you. So you want to prevent tangles in the first place. Then when it is time to detangle, you want to be gentle. Now, I only detangle with a brush on wash days, unless I have a special occasion. Then I'll use my paddle brush. But yeah, wash days, you know, you want to section it out. You want to take your time. If you don't have the time to do it right and to be gentle, then just wait. There's no point in, you know, like ripping out your hair, causing all those split ends if you don't have to. You know, respect the strands, okay? They have feelings too. Okay, so everybody's different, but I have to detangle my hair when it's wet. There's no way you'll see me running a brush through my hair when it's like this. Do I feel like it's tangled now? No, I really don't. But it's just, for me, I've got the slip and everything I need when my hair is wet. And I do recommend just knowing what works for your hair and even advocating for what works for your hair. I've gotten to the point to where I will detangle my hair before I go to the hairdresser. I know how I like it. I know how I like it done. And if you have a good hairdresser, they will listen to you and they will work with you like mine does. She's wonderful. But yeah, so what works best for me, I section the hair off. If I'm telling the truth, I normally do 3 sections, side, side, and then back. I wet it. I've gotten to the point where I don't even have to use a specific detangler. I can just use my leave-in. You're going to start at the bottoms and then work your way up very gently. And then once I finish a section, I'll just twist it and when it's wet and has product, it will stay like that. So it's separated. You can use clips if you want to. Sometimes I do, but I'll normally just do that. It's a very simple, easy, stress-free for the hair process. But you just have to play with it. But, you know, if you struggle with tangles, then figuring out how to combat those tangles will definitely help you to grow your hair longer and stronger. So my last tip for you is, you know, kind of obvious, but it's not easy. It's to be patient. If you're trying to grow long hair, which, you know, I'm still on my journey. I'm trying to hit waist length, and I hope to do it in 2020. But you have to be patient. You're probably going to have setbacks. I know I had a huge setback when I was on methotrexate a few years ago. I was going through a hard time in life anyway, just a heartbreaking time with personal circumstances, and then I had to go and cut my hair off on top of all that. But guess what? It grew back. And because I was intentional and I wanted to help it grow back faster, it grew back better than before. You will have setbacks, but just be patient. You need to know that you can grow long hair. I'm all about debunking the myth that black hair can't grow. It does grow. We have to, take care of it differently, but there are so many resources out there if you'll just be patient, if you'll just know that you can, and be intentional about taking care of yourself from the inside out. Your hair and your body will thank you. And so those are my tips for how I have grown long, healthy hair and how I'm still continuing on my journey to do so. So if you enjoyed today's video, please give it a thumbs up. I always appreciate the engagement. Also, I would love to know what tips and tricks you guys use to grow long, healthy hair. I'm always, eager to learn, and I'll continue to make videos like this. So, yeah, that's it for today, guys. If you want to see me and my sister Tiffany as we break down all things beauty, then don't forget to subscribe. And until we meet again.